Jacquie Bhana and my business is called Jacquie Bhana Consulting. I've been working in a corporate world for over 35 years and I've left just a year and a half ago because I wanted to dance to my own drum beat. I wanted more flexibility and the corporate held no desire for me any longer because I felt I could make an impact beyond the corporate gates to a wider circle and a wider community and with a wider circle and with a wider community. And I started my own business. So I have two businesses. One focuses on coaching, mentoring and mental health counseling. And my second business is a little startup of ladies' garments and I'm quite far down the road with both of them. So with the coaching, mentoring and counseling, after many years as an executive and a non-executive, I feel I have a lot of value to add to various groups of people. And I think South Africa at the moment has a huge need to develop their youth, graduates, and I'm looking at coaching young graduates to be employable, productive, competent, confident, and to make a difference in our economy. The other group is that of women. I think that women have a lot more to contribute, a lot more to offer, and we don't use the best of what they can offer in our businesses. I think a lot of them hide their lights under a bushel. They need to find their voice, they need to use their voice, and I know I can help them with that. I've been through the lone corporate for many, many years, and I know some of the difficulties they face, and I know what graduates face, and I feel that I can make a big difference in their lives. I also feel that following COVID, there are a number of people who really suffer with their mental health. So I believe I can make a big difference in the mental health space. So that's the area of business that I'm focusing on. The other business is that of a little startup. I have a manufacturer and I'm in the process of finding a distributor, and that's quite far down the line. So that's my business. Different, you know, it's very different from a corporate. Being in the SMME space is exhilarating, it's different, it's fast, it's not, there is no cushion. You know, you're out there on your own, facing the challenges all by yourself. You know, in a business, I had 2 secretaries, there was an IT technician. If your computer packed up or if it got locked, you just called upstairs for help and they'd be down in a flash. There's none of that. So now I'm an IT technician, I'm an assistant, I'm a secretary, I'm many things in one. I think in my corporate career, you know, having started as a very young graduate at a time that was in the early 1990s, it was a very lone world, I think, for both women and graduates of color. And there wasn't help, which is why I think that I veered towards coaching and counseling. I felt that if I could have a sounding board, if I could have somebody to bounce ideas off, if I had somebody who could help me with my confidence, who could just help me navigate my way through a corporate, it would be great. And the same happened when I was appointed as a director. I was appointed as a director very young. And who did I have to call on? My parents weren't there at that level to help me, and I really didn't have anybody to be able to assist me. And really, I think just having navigated my way through that has been a great achievement, and it was tough. It really was. One of the other things that I love and that I'm active in is the Durban Chamber. I've been elected as a board member, as the first vice president. And what's amazing about the Durban Chamber is that it has really great leadership. The CEO is a courageous, fearless woman. The Chamber deals with a number of issues. So when there was the looting, for example, we knew that the shelves would be empty. We knew that there was a security issue, and our president, who at this stage is Prasheen Miraj, but the CEO is Palisa Pili, she got her hands dirty and got out there, called on the national ministers, the presidency, and she was out there calling on them to help Durban to get itself straight. I myself led a task team on getting the shelves full, So I worked with the Consumer Goods Council, with bigger corporates in retail in South Africa, with the transporters, and we tried to get our shelves full. So they then worked with some of the higher level national leaders to assist with that process. And within a week, we saw trucks driving down to Durban, escorted by helicopters and ambulances. It really was quite an emotional experience. We also, during the floods, got together and had food, clothing, delivered to inaccessible places. So, I mean, it's just an example of what you would do beyond the gates of corporate, and I just feel it's incredible work to be done, and it's quite rewarding. There are a number of people who motivate me. I think one who stands out is a young lady called Nokutula Ndlovu. She's a young influencer, and she's a technocrat, really good at it. She's opened up a number of businesses. One of them called Limit Breakers, the name that I love, Women on Boards, and she works at the development of a number of women. She's the kind of leader who does her own washing, lives in a normal apartment as you and I would do, and I just find that inspiring because it sends the right messages to people. I think that the thing about her is that she's just a great leader, without all of the bells and whistles. So I think she's superb. The other person that I truly admire is Malala Yousafzai, because throughout the difficulty that girls experience in Afghanistan with getting an education, she was determined. She was shot by the Afghanis and she carried on regardless, and she now advocates for the education of women internationally. I think, life is not always easy, and you cannot use that as an excuse for not wanting to accomplish your dreams and your goals. My parents weren't successful people, so I didn't have that to look up to, but I knew what my own goals and ambitions were. I knew that when I got out of university, I wanted to get into a professional job. When I was in that job, I had to look at where I wanted to go next and what I could do. So from being a graduate, I got into a professional position as an HR officer. I worked as a professional, came up to Durban, became a marketing manager, which was unheard of at the time, became a manager quite young. The reason I'm telling you all this is because what you need to do is have your eyes set on a prize and work towards that and successfully achieve little milestones along the way. From there, I got into a management, an executive and a director position, but it all came along after hard work and successes. So it's not as though you can get into an organization and look at the top prize and get there. You have to prove yourself along the way. My future goals really are, I want this business, my coaching business, to make a difference. I really want the young graduates that I work with to be successful. I want the women in business to use their voice, to get to levels that they aspire to, because if you're not in the center of things, it's very hard if you don't have a voice. So you got to prove that you're capable and then just go for it. In my personal life, I'm a mother, I'm a wife, a sister and a family member. So I'm a pretty devoted family person and I do all the family things. It's not as though I say, well, I don't cook and I don't this, I do everything. I love family and I love spending time with them. In my spare time, I love reading. I'm a bit of a book junkie, and I play golf socially. That's what I do. I have a husband for 30 years now. He's a medical doctor, a specialist obstetrician gynecologist, and he has a fertility clinic in Durban. More importantly, we have a beautiful daughter of 20 years who loves her dad, who thinks he's, the sun and moon shine out of him, and she wants to follow in his footsteps. And she is hoping to become a doctor. She is doing her third year medicine and loving it. I was reading a little saying this morning, and I'm not too philosophical, but it just said, if you move beyond your fears, you can start living your life. And I think a lot of people generally, have a lot of fear about doing a lot of things. And if you move beyond that, then you can, the world is your oyster.